All right, guys, welcome to the lunch break here at FNGO. I see a couple of you guys in the comment section already. Houston and Tyler, what's going on? I hope everybody is having a fantastic Friday. The weekend is in sight. We are almost there. Got a few more hours till we can all go do whatever it is we're going to do. And apparently, it seems like, according to the poll that I put out there on the Fish North Georgia group page, seems like a lot of you guys are going to either be watching football or fishing. So that's kind of thing. I was very shocked that not too many guys are going hunting, even though tomorrow is the opening day of hunting season here in Georgia for deer and all that. So again, what's up, Doug Rice? Everybody, I hope you're having a great Friday. So I'm looking forward to this, other than it's going to be hot. Not crazy about it getting warm again. I'm ready for the fall and the cooler temperatures, and I hope you guys are as well. Let's see. Happy Good News Friday. I only want to hear good news today. Well, there's a lot of good news out there. A lot of good news out there. So we can go whichever way you guys want to go. We can make it positive on anything today. So definitely needs to be better than the last couple of days out there. And I think it will be. I think it will be for sure. So Big Bait John, what's going on? And all you guys out there on TikTok, hey, appreciate you guys. Now, again, start marking your calendars. We're going to keep harping on this. December 6th, Toys for Tots tournament is coming up with Big Shanty Bassmasters out of Laurel Park on Lake Lanier. $5,000 first place prize, guaranteed by the sponsors. Guaranteed by the sponsors. I have put more corn out. I have to put more corn out first. Maybe cheating, but I don't care. Daniel's Family Fishing. What's up, buddy, over there on TikTok? And Big Bait John, be there. What's up, fellas? Listen, yeah, there's a lot. You got a lot of options this weekend. Gregory Harris. What's up, folks? Why the crappie so hard to be caught on Lanier? Well, I mean, right now, if you listen to a lot of people, Lanier is either on fire or it's really tough. Now, we haven't talked a lot of crappie fishing on here. We don't probably talk enough crappie fishing on here. So I definitely cannot give you a really good explanation as to why they're being so tough. But if it's anything like everything else, it's that little time in the fall where we have that little bit of, whatever it is. Coleman, we'll find you a co-angler for the December 6th tournament. And what's up, Tony? And Tyler better be forward facing corn. Listen at you already out there throwing out the forward facing stuff. It's Friday. Can we not just all agree to get along right there? No, I'm just kidding. It is, there's a lot going on. Now, had a really cool live well last night talking about fall baits. And, Tyler, that was your first time ever being on our podcast. If you guys watched it, Tyler and his buddy Jack were just sitting up here, and we had an open seat. And as I often do, if you're here and we got an open seat and you're not scared, I'm going to throw you on. And you guys did a good job last night. You really did a good job. Doug Rice, too hot to hunt. Just be feeding chiggers, ticks, and skeeters. No doubt about that. And what's up, Dead Rabbit? I may tomorrow afternoon. Lonnie Hill, what's up on TikTok, buddy? I may get out at some point this weekend. But I generally, the older I get, the less I like the heat when it comes to hunting. You know what I mean? When I was in my 20s and 30s, appreciate it. Lonnie said we had an awesome show last night. Appreciate it, buddy. When I was in my 20s or 30s, I was out there. Skeeters be danged. I was going to go out there. I was going to hunt. And if you're lucky enough and you pop one, then you got to deal with the ticks. You got to deal with everything else, the yellow jackets and the flies and all that. So as I've gotten older, I think I've been known to wait. Let's just put it that way. Doc Holliday, greetings and salutations. Tyler said he was flying by the seat of my pants. Never done it before. Well, just in the comments section, Tyler, throw it out there. What did you think of actually? You've seen it behind the scenes, but actually having a microphone in your face. Was you nervous at all? Dead Rabbit, yeah, better wait for the cold front to get in the woods. I think so. I think I probably will this weekend. And Gregory Harris, enjoy the show. Keep up the good talks. And we try. That's what this lunch break's about. Just whatever you guys want to talk about. I will say I'm glad that some of the news that came out this morning has been kind of on a positive thing as far as the investigation with all that that's going on. So I'm glad that happened. I want to kind of try to steer away from that because we've talked about it, yesterday, and it's really been out there. So, maybe we're going to try to be more positive going into the weekend. Got some really good college football games going on. A lot of you guys, according to the poll on Fish North Georgia, you're going fishing. And there's a few of you who just don't care about any of it. And most of you guys out there are saying that Georgia is going to beat Tennessee. Now, I kind of figured it'd be a little skewed since we are in Georgia. But there's a lot of people out there that think Tennessee is going to win. Now, Doc Holliday said, Tyler, if you were nervous, you didn't show it. Okay, and he did a good job. Now, I have had kids before, even grown men get over here. In a second, I say, all right, guys, we're live. Buddy, I'm telling you, you ought to see them. They are shaking. I can physically see them shaking. And I guess I'm just so used to it, it doesn't bother me. And I always get tickled, because I don't ever remember being nervous when we first started. Maybe I was. But I see them over here shaking and all that. And I just I want to just, hey, brother, it's okay. It's okay. It ain't that big of a deal. We're just going to talk and it'll be fine. And I think once they get to talking, they're fine. Let's see. Tyler says it was really cool. I was a little nervous. It was hard for me to try and think of interesting things to ask Rob, but that probably comes with time. I will tell you, Tyler, the secret to this show is that I don't have to have every question ready, right? I don't have to have questions because most of the time a comment will come on TikTok or you guys, and you guys feed it. And that's why this is really easy. You guys run the show. That's what I say every single time. Carson, Danny, we need to do a grill out at the shop for a game one day. Yeah, we can pull the game up right here on this screen I'm looking at. We got a big screen in it. Well, I say big screen. It's big enough. We should do that. Let's check out, see what the schedule is, and we'll have a cookout here at the shop one Saturday. Deer hunting, never been my thing. I'm a shotgun hunter. Rabbit, dove, quail, turkey. That's okay. To each his own, Jeremy. To each his own. But Mr. Doug Rice is. You're from Kentucky. Mr. Doug Rice spends quite a bit of his hunting season in the great state of Kentucky. So what you're not chasing, he's chasing. Now Jeremiah says, hoping the jerkbait bite is hitting early. Dang the football. Come on, Jeremiah. It's Saturday in the South. Coleman said, I've been a guest on a finance podcast before. Would love to join one day. Listen, you should join it, but I mean, how exciting can a finance podcast be? You might as well be at an insurance seminar. Now, Tony said, first time hosting, I was so scared I was going to screw it up. It's easy now. Ain't nothing to this, guys. Yeah, I know. It's not really that hard, but your first time with anything, yeah, it's a little bit. Does anyone know if anyone making anything like the 90s Ranowski scattering shad? I have no clue, Dead Rabbit. So you guys in the comment section, help them out. Do you know anything about the 90s? Am I saying it right? Ranowski scattering shad. Okay. Coleman should talk about his secret smallmouth lake. Yeah, he was in the comments last night talking about this lake, wasn't giving it up. Ain't no gatekeeping here. Now, Tyler, he did say DM me. He's got you, but he's not going to throw it out everywhere. All right. But yeah, Tony, let's do that. We need to do a FNGO tailgate. I think that would be pretty cool. I think we need to go ahead and get that on the agenda to do, and we'll figure out what we're going to cook. I would love to do it one day. Long drive for someone that gets up at 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, for the rest of us lazy asses, it ain't that bad, Doug. Only time I get up at 4 a.m. is for a tournament, maybe to go hunting. But 4 a.m. is early. Now, there have been nights where I have still been up at 4 a.m. I don't know if that counts. Can't go to sleep from the night before. I believe Coleman would be awesome on the show. Oh, country boy like that. But we ain't talking finance. And me, I'm taking my girl to her first South Carolina game tomorrow night. Go Cox, right? Huh? I mean, that's one place you can scream it all night long and get away with it. South Carolina, okay, y'all pretty good. I love during football season, just a few less boats on the water. Now, that is something that a lot of people like. Now, I say that, but every time I decide I'm going to go fishing during deer season, for some reason, I pick the weekend that everybody decides to go fishing on. It's still always crowded, but a lot of guys think that. And I tell a lot of guys too, if you're scheduling a tournament, especially a benefit tournament, and you're doing it in the fall or wedding, you need to consult the college football schedule. You need to do that. And I'm being very serious when it comes to benefit tournaments. If you schedule one on a game that is very important to people here in the South, regardless of what school, you're not going to have the turnout that you would expect. And I'm being honest with that. You're not going to have the turnout. And right or wrong, I don't know. But honestly, I've had guys, hey, I want to throw a benefit tournament. I'm like, all right, when are you going to throw it? They said November. All right, November what? November 7th. I said, nobody will come. And they'll go, why? I said, that's the middle of the rut. They'll go, what's the rut? I said, that's the deer mating season. Any outdoorsman around here that fishes and hunts is going to be in the woods that week. Guarantee it. Don't even schedule your tournament. I promise you. And sure enough, and after they see what I'm talking about, they're like, yeah, you're right. Let's see. Now, Cletus is up at 4 a.m. every day after getting back from the hour drive at FNGO. He's up running because he's going to do that marathon. He's got to get his workout in. Chicken, rice, running, and bow hunting right now. That's what Cletus has got going on. Tyler said, I had to work this morning. It ain't no 4 a.m., but it's 6:20, and that's early for a 19-year-old. Oh, good Lord, Tyler. Come on now. Got to meet Coleman yesterday. Really enjoyed meeting people from this podcast. That's one of the cool things about this, though. When we do, like you, Doug, like meeting you over there at the GOM Blast over there in Emerson. Ain't that what it is? I always say Cartersville. I think it's Emerson, technically. My wedding is round 1 of the playoffs. Tried to warn my fiance. Well, you lost, Coleman. So you're going into a marriage already down 1. You're already losing 1-0. You got to fix that stuff, man. You got to stand up and be a man. Now, if I'm being honest, I'd probably lose that one too. So let's see. I got to shout out Garmin customer service. Hands down, some of the nicest people you can talk to. They made me feel less bad about losing $1,000. And I bet you didn't ask Garmin where the big bite button was that Fish North Georgia told you about. I'm still upset that I have not got a call from Garmin. A cease and desist. Danny, quit telling everybody we have the big bite button available for the Garmin 34. You guys are letting me down. I thought surely you guys would flood it, tell them, and I'd get a call from some really upset person in their marketing department or whatever and say, stop saying that. And then I would say, yes, sir. And I would come back and I would congratulate all you guys. But no, none of you are doing it. I expect to get that call next week. Every one of you need to call up Garmin customer service and say, hey, where can I get the Garmin big bite button that goes with the Garmin 34? Just somebody do it. I just want to know what they say on customer service. Don't make me do it. It'd be better for me if it came from you guys. So please, somebody out there that loves me enough, that loves FNGO, do that. Just please do that because I want to know what they say. All right, let's see. Coleman seems like she's such a smart and nice lady. She should have known better. 100%. He definitely listen, if there's a guy out there right now that outpunted his coverage, it's Coleman. I mean, buddy, you better tie that one up. Not literally. You know what I'm saying. That's crazy that people will choose the game and deer hunt over somebody's wedding. Listen, I mean, I'll be honest. The last wedding that we went to that I didn't have to do, I sat beside my son. There was a ball game on, and he had it on his phone, and he would hold his phone down, but he held it to where I could look down and he could look down and we could check the score. I'm not lying. We did it. Now, his wife and my wife weren't exactly happy about it. Well, we didn't care. I mean, that was a pretty big game. So, you got to do what you got to do. All right. What's up, Dave Raleigh? Doug Rice, put that button on my unit. Works great. Yeah, I just really want somebody to call him and find out. So Coleman, yeah, I think Cletus is fishing up there, I think. Now, Cletus says Danny is a handsome fella. He gets a lot of exclusive deals based solely on his handsome charm. Listen, I don't get nothing based on my looks. I promise you that. But you got something to give, throw it on this way right here. What's the divorce rate now? I'm choosing hunting or fishing every time. Now, see, that's the thing. That's the thing with weddings nowadays. You got a 50-50 shot that if you miss it, you ain't missing nothing. And it also depends on what they're serving and what kind of after party they got going on, the reception. Now, if they do it right, they get a reception hall that's got a big screen TV. Now, my cousin got his daughter got married in Dahlonega, but Georgia was playing in the I forget what Georgia was playing in. It might have been first round of playoffs or the SEC, one of them championship games, something like that. It was a very big game, and they had the TV on. So we did the ceremony, boom, boom. Everybody went up there, and we basically just had some adult beverages and watched the game. Now, then we had to go in for a second when they did all that goofy, hey, here comes the bride. Now, for some reason now, when the bride, the groomsmen and the groomswomen, whatever the hell they call them, come in, they got to do these dances and all that. And you got to sit through that. And then you got to clap, and then I'll tell you what irritates me now about weddings, other than schedule. And I don't know when this started. If you are the best man or the whatever they call, was it the best woman, whatever they call the woman, and you got to say something, at the reception, you got to give a speech. Okay. If you don't know enough about your friend getting married that you just can't go up there, grab a mic and go and throw out some stuff, you need to work on that. Now everybody's reading it off their phones. Like they got this prepared speech and all that. Just go up there and shoot the shit. Go up there and just say something. That's just kind of the way I feel. And maybe it's because I have no problem talking to people. And the rest of you guys are kind of shy and all that. But I'm like, y'all don't want me to be your best man, especially if I know what you did when you was younger. Because I promise you, I will get up there and tell the world everything that you've done. So, but that's one thing I've noticed in the last few weddings that I'm like, they pull out the old phone and they got written it down. And, bless your heart if you ain't very good at public speaking. I get it. But, that's it. See, that's what y'all read Cletus's stuff. If you can't riff a speech, you don't know that. And I'll skip what he said. Good enough to be in his wedding. Now, Daniel's Family Fishing said, I used my phone as a reference during my speech because I was nervous to talk in front of 300 people. And Aquaholic goes, ChatGPT, write me a speech. Well, but I get that. You can have your reference points, but I've seen people here lately over the last year and a half to go word for word, and they're looking down and they're not making any eye contact. And eye contact's important, especially if you got a joke. Especially if you got a joke. It just does not hit the same when you're reading it. So, but I do get it. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. I know not everybody can get up in front of people and just talk. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because I mean, you could stick me on the pitcher's mound in Turner Field and pack that place solid. Give me a microphone and I won't shut up for 2 hours. I'll talk to the whole crowd. I don't care. But it's also a curse in that somebody's always going to ask you, hey, you want to come speak? You want to come say something like that? You want to come talk at our thing? Which is cool sometimes. And then other times it's like, But let's see, you guys, if there's not an open bar, I'm out. Well, even now, though, I mean, the last few I've been to, the open bars were kind of like, they were open, but they were kind of like, I want to say it wasn't the best selection. Can we just say that? Cletus said I was in 7 weddings last year. That's over $1,500 in rental suits alone. Think about the tackle I could have bought, not to mention all the travel, gifts, food, and everything. Yeah, Aquaholic, it's the cheap stuff, right? Listen, I'm just curious, Clint, why didn't you just go buy you one tux and be done with it? Well, I guess you do have to match. That is true. Sometimes you got to match. They're not going in the traditional tuxes and all that. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. I get it, but that is a lot of money. Now, $1,500 is a lot in just the rental suits alone, for sure. However, Cletus, you and I have talked about some of the post-game festivities at some of this stuff, and I think you've had fun. You probably got your $1,500 worth. I bought a tux so I don't have to rent, right? Now, Daniel's Family Fishing goes, Cletus, the people didn't pay for your suits with a question mark. Not a lot of people do that anymore. Not a lot of people do that. Clint, that's 2 NRXs you could have bought instead of renting suits. Tony also will skip your birthday if you do it on the wrong day. Seth Lee Huskins just picked up 3 Abu Garcia PLX Tournament Series rods. What is a great lightweight bait caster for the Bang? Rods feel way too nice for just my usual weight setup. So you guys out there, he's got 3 Garcia PLX Tournament Series rods, and he wants to know a lightweight bait caster that won't, I don't guess break the bank. You guys throw it out there, and I'm going to start reading off your comments to him. Yeah, Cletus was in all of them. You have to match every single color. True. Yeah, nobody does the basics anymore. But I do appreciate the guy that does the blue jeans and the white shirt. I appreciate that guy. And I guess his bride. And I appreciate when I can go to one of these things and my shirt can be untucked. It don't happen very often. Because if you got a gut, tucking in your shirt's not fun. You don't look good, no matter how hard you try. Especially if you're 5'7". Okay? If you're 6'7" and you got a gut, at least you got some height to take everybody's visual aspects places. When you're 5'7", you're just right there. Bible with call to arms. I don't think your mic is working. The problem, Bible, is that our wire to our TikTok camera broke, and so you're coming straight off the mic of the camera, and it's not very good, as good as this. I would say if you go to FNGO on YouTube, you can hear me in the full because this mic goes to that. I did a white shirt jeans on a dock and started fishing while they did family photos. Yeah, I know, I get you. 100%. When my son got married up in Gainesville, up north of Gainesville, they had a lake. And I'm not going to lie, the whole time I was like, buzz bait down that bank with the overhang right there. There's bass in there. I could slay them. He's only got 2 this year, so it's much more manageable. Just give me some shorts, Crocs, t-shirt, and I'm good. Yeah, but, if we're being honest, that is a once-in-a-lifetime wedding right there. What's up, Ron Swinford? Now, Jeremiah says the Tatula reels are nice and not overly heavy. FaZe Fishing says the Cast King Mega Jaws. There you go. There's a couple of options. Aaron says, one of my buddies from college is Indian, and they do a week-long celebration, and I just can't take that much time for a wedding. Hey, I get it. Jason said he's heading to Lake Oconee for the first time. Got any pointers, tips, places to look for? Guys, throw out and hang on, Jason. We'll find you some answers. Lake Oconee, guys. I would imagine he needs to be going shallow around them docks, right? You guys that fish Oconee, like throw that. A lot of guys talk about docks and stuff on the show when they go down there. I'd be flipping jigs around docks or shaky heads or something going shallow. Daniel's Family Fishing says docks. I'll wait and see what the guys over here said. Aquaholic says, photographer got pictures of me sneaking down to the water, hiding behind trees like a ninja. Now, Aquaholic, I know your body type. I've seen you. I know you. It's got, you have to pick the right tree. You're like me. Okay. We ain't hiding behind no sapling, are we? So that would be a good picture. Let's see, where we go. Doug Rice, I paid $10,000 on a wedding, and 10 years later, it went up in flames. Kind of like donating for a tournament. Hey, listen, I get it. And I learned. If we're just going, Oconee, here's another. Neil Scoggins says, buzzbait on the seawalls. Jason, buzzbait on the seawalls. And nobody else has thrown out anything else. So if they do, I will shout it out over there. Listen, I dated a girl all through high school. 4 years. I graduated 1 year ahead of her. So right after I graduated, right after she graduated, we got married. 6 months, guys. Big wedding, all that stuff. They even played the Irish folk song Danny Boy or something. 6 months. Don't know why I didn't see that one coming in high school. But when you're in high school, you're not thinking about things other than certain things, right? Okay? So a big wedding does not guarantee success in a marriage. 3 weeks into being separated and going through that, I met my wife now. We've been married 30-something years. Not that I haven't tried to blow that one up too, but my wife, she actually really meant it when she said for better or for worse. There'd been a lot more worse for that woman. But yeah, we got married, and my uncle was a pastor. We got married in his living room. Now, this is not very sexy, guys, but we got married in his living room. Then with her sister and her husband at that time, we went to the Taco Bell, got us some tacos, went home, did the stuff we was already doing anyway, and then I went to work the next day. Now, my crew leader at the time went up to the owner of the company I was working for, and they said, Ron, won't you let this guy off? He got married yesterday. And I'm telling you, this is Ron Jones' exact words. He goes, it's not my fault. That's exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. Coleman says, our venue has a lake, and she already told me I can fish the morning of the wedding. You did outpunch your coverage, but I'm telling you what, now, listen, there's something wrong with that. You ain't married yet, and I know your fiance. You're telling me she gave you permission to fish the morning of? Permission, Coleman? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. I'm just kidding with you. Kruger Bug Customs. We made sure we picked a venue we could fish at. That's smart. 100% smart. I could not fish in my uncle's living room, but there's a lot of big deer around there. I will go ahead and say that. Let me catch up on the comments. What about weddings where you know they ain't going to make it as a couple anyway? I mean, well, at that point, Jeremiah, when they said, does anybody oppose this wedding? You should, stand up and say, hey, guys, listen, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Be that guy. Stand up and say, you guys are wasting your time. I think that would be funny. I probably would not do that. It would horrify my wife, but I've been to a couple of those. Where I'm like, wasting time. That's what you're doing, Ryan Potts. I've been to a couple of them. 100% where I'm like, I don't see this. Our cabin, weekend of partying with pop-up wedding. Didn't have a time set. Hey, there you go. I like that. But, I mean, I have been to a few of those. Where I'm like, man, them kids ain't going to look good. This is not a power couple right here. Seth Lee Huskins wants to know, is the Cast King brand reliable? Those of you that have Cast King products, especially the reels, do you find them reliable? Okay. And Dead Rabbit said, I've been supporting Cadence Rod and Reels for a while now, and I've been very happy. I haven't heard much about them. I need to look into that. Tom Erico, I got a fashion model job for pizza, and a woman asked me to be in a movie. You may have seen me with George Hamilton. It is us in a Tarantino movie. What's the name of it? Name of the movie, Tom? I would check that out. I don't know if any of you guys live up here in this neck of the woods, but Amicalola Propane up here, Matt, and I forget Matt's last name, but anyway, he owns it. And he is a big human being. I mean, when I say big, like he's 6'8", and he's big. Let's just put he's big. Uncle Misfit says, I use casting spinning reels for years now with no problems. And I guess that's the Cast King. So he's answering that question on the Cast King, Seth. But Matt played college football. And if you go watch the movie We Are Marshall, he got asked to do a quick little cameo in that. He was, I think I was really surprised at the Cast King. I have them for sale on my profile link. So you're saying you liked them? Is that what you're saying, Ryan? Or you didn't like them? But anyway, you know that scene where after the plane crash and all that, and they're trying to rebuild the program, they go to West Virginia at the time to see Bobby Bowden was the coach there, and he's in there looking at film, and all of a sudden these two big players walk in, and they got the cross on the back of their helmets. One of those guys is Matt. He lives up here. I mean, that's his only thing. And so Ryan says that they're good reels for the money. We're talking about the Cast King stuff. So appreciate that, Ryan. So yeah. So Seth, a couple of people think they're pretty good. Fred says, I think we all go through a bad one to get a good one. He's talking about marriages for sure like that. Listen, we don't contribute very well though to the statistics, right? When they say, hey, 50% in it. Well, I did my part to really mess that up right there. Sounds like I could have wore my Crocs in that one, Danny. He's talking about mine. You probably could have. Crocs weren't even a thing back then, though, dude. I'm an old man. Stephen Guthrie fishing, going hunting, fishing, and when watching a game, is a rite of passage in the South. The best days are going hunting in the morning, maybe watching the game, and then going back hunting, or being able to fish during the middle of the day and going back hunting. I used to do that at a place up in Royston. It was amazing. James Ramsey says, my ex-wife's uncle married me and my current wife on Christmas night, 2018. I gave him some deer meat for a gift, and he gave us a TV. No BS. James, that's as redneck son as it comes. Your ex-wife's uncle married you to your current wife. That right there is the start of a TV episode of something. Plus, you said, here's some deer meat, and he gave you a TV. That is fantastic. Like, that puts a smile on my face. I absolutely love that. NC Bass Puller. Had my wedding at my parents' house in their field with tents and a DJ. Party was so good, the cops came, and people still talk about it 10 years later. That's the way it's supposed to happen. If you're going to throw a party, the cops need to be involved. Absolutely. Ryan Potts says last night's show on YouTube was good. Fall transition can be tough. Yeah, absolutely it can. And everybody's got their own opinion, right, as to what works. Some things we all can kind of agree on, like them going to go shallow. We're going to really hit shallow. But what we use up there, it's always interesting to me, Ryan, when I've got people on there and I'm getting 4 or 5 different answers. You know what I'm saying? And it amazes me the variety of ways we can catch fish. And knowing that, say, Tim's a power guy, I know what he's going to throw, but a finesse guy's got to do something else. It's always good stuff to listen to everybody's thoughts. Coleman says, I can't win when it comes to this podcast. I love you, Coleman. You're a good kid. And I am, ain't you sending me, or did you send me an invite to your wedding? Did you send me an invite already? I want to say I got something to somebody's wedding. Hartwell is my home pond, and it changes daily. Yeah, it does. But Hartwell is another place where whatever you like to do, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're a power guy, Hartwell's got it. And if you're an offshore guy, it's got that too. So luckily the lakes we have here, whatever you like doing. And that's what guys will come in and go, how should I fish Lanier? And the first question, I'll be like, what do you like to do? Then you go from there. But yeah, Jeremy fished a tournament the night before his wedding. If there's fishing at my wedding, I would miss the reception. Stephen says, when my nephew, at Daniel's Fishing, because family fishing, he's over here on TikTok, got married. I was down the road fishing. This is great, you guys. See, that's why I love this show. I did not plan on talking about weddings, but here we are, right? We just turned the boat around and went fishing afterwards. There you go. Jeremiah says, I'm 100% going fishing on my wedding day, and I'm taking a photo with the fish in my suit. That's good. You need to take the bride with you, too. Jeremy also says, I've got Cast King spinning reels, 0 problems. Faze Fishing said, yes, I do. I have 3. I have the Brutus, I have a Centron, and I have a Mega Jones, and I love them. I've had them for a little bit over a year. Boy, I'm really behind on the comments, ain't it, right there? Can't go wrong with the Arc Gravity series either. Light and reliable, for sure. Aquaholic said, I got skunked this morning. Lanier changed in a week. It's like a woman, dude. I'm telling you. Every lake is like a woman. One day they love you, and the next day, boy, they're giving you the stink eye, man. Giving you the stink eye. Now, Stephen Daniel, he says he would have rather been fishing too. You ain't kidding. I know you say you're just kidding, but you really ain't kidding. I know better. Because I'm telling you, I would have rather been fishing. Like, if I could just go and say, I do. Yeah. All that other pomp and circumstance. Yeah, he said a little. Yeah, I know you're not. I'm not. All marriages end in divorce or death. Doc Holliday. Words of wisdom from one of the elder statesmen here at FNGO. True. Tyler says a Shimano SLX is great for the money. 3 heads in a duffel bag. Joe Pesci mentions Tom Errico. Okay. I'm gonna go try to find that this weekend. I love my Cast Kings. Did you write that up? Did I read that already? Okay, yeah, you wrote that up there. Cast King just released the MG TI Elite, but I think it's around $200. So they're getting bougie with some of their stuff. I don't hardly ever use Cast King anything, but I did hang an 80-pound tarpon with a Cast King Summer 4000 in the Cayman Islands, and it actually kept up with that fish well. I think I read that correctly. James says, I live a real white trash life, Danny. Don't tell my mom I'm a truck driver. She thinks I play piano at a brothel. All right, dude. Your secret's safe with all of us. If y'all want to have fun at a wedding, just bring some good creek water and pass around the jar. All you got to do is sit back and watch. And if you guys don't understand what creek water is, we'll let you know after the show. Okay, Danny, he's going to send me an invite soon. Okay, I don't care if it's sent over text. Just tell me where to be and I'll be there. I might crash the thing, all right? You might really want to make sure you want me at your wedding, though. Okay? I'm just playing. I will be a very good person. And I hope you guys are not going to be a statistic. I want you guys to make it. Absolutely, I do. My game plan for Lanier tomorrow, and if you plan on fishing Lanier tomorrow, are you going to be doing the same thing that Tyler Shelnut's doing? Underspin on brush piles. Underspin on the brush piles. Bring the creek water, Aquaholic said. I like creek water. And what's up, Pontoon Jody? I love seeing your name in the comments all the time. Absolutely love it. You got to get more of your female friends, though, to get on here. Okay? And y'all need to start giving it back to me a little bit, because I tease you women sometimes. Y'all got to give it back to me. I think that would be fantastic. Okay, Three Heads in a Duffel Bag is the name of the movie. His name, he mentions my name, counting the heads that I got lost. Part of the story. Okay, we'll do that. Three Heads in a Duffel Bag. That's a hell of a name for a movie. And you can find the movie to purchase. I'll do that. Now, Coleman says, drink before the wedding because for various reasons, no alcohol will be there. Oh, that's right. The in-laws. Is that what it is? Coleman, is it the in-laws? Actually, somebody got married. Oh, yeah. We went to a cruise in the Bahamas where the bride has very conservative parents. And she had never had a drop of adult beverage in her entire life. Ever. Let's just say that at the private beach in the Bahamas after the wedding, she's laid out. She was just laid out, and I'm just sitting there going like, youngin' can't handle her liquor. But she was laid out. It was pretty funny. I mean, she actually slept half the excursion out there because she married into my wife's family, which is a bunch of South Carolina heathens. And let's just say that her first experience of it was from a bunch of flatlanders from Florence, South Carolina. And she was not prepared. Now, luckily, her parents were not invited on this part of the excursion. So I don't know if she ever admitted to it, but I thought it was pretty funny myself. What's up, Tiny Times Production? Let me go ahead and do this. Guys, go follow Tiny Times Production on YouTube. Okay, I'll get it out there since you didn't start off with it. You asked what's up. What's up, Collins? Neil Scoggins. I bet I've got everyone beat. Holy Toledo. Okay, sometimes I do try to proofread the comments. Now, if you haven't read it or you're on TikTok, listen to this one. Because I really want to know what in the hell is going through your mind, Neil. I bet I've got everyone beat when it comes to marriage. I married the same girl 3 times. Now, Neil, either that sunshine is worth doing it if you get my drift, or you got a screw loose, dude. I don't know one of the two. We got to figure out, why did you marry the same woman 3 times? It's got to be the sunshine. Oh, no, it's more serious deal than that, Danny. Private stuff, you know. Okay, all right, we got that. Ryan Potts goes, damn, you win. You win, Neil. You got the comment of the day. You win. Coleman, I'm picking up what you put down. Me and my girlfriend are having a dry wedding, too, when we get married. Okay, listen, I don't know. I ain't never been to one of those. So you guys are going to have to fill me in on how that works. Blaming it on the South Carolina heathens. They are. I married my wife for better or for worse, and I'm not giving up until the better comes along. That is exactly my wife's motto. My wife will tell you it took 25, 26 years of our marriage for her to actually get me to act halfway right. Okay, I'm 53. I probably didn't grow up till about, 49, somewhere right in there. When I proposed to my wife, the ring was on the end of the fishing line in the Gulf of America and had her pull it in. That's kind of classy. That's something we don't all think about. It's also pretty ballsy. You threw it out there and you just, I hope you tied a good knot. How about this, Aquaholic? We talk about knots all the time. What knot did you use with your, engagement ring or whatever when you chunked it into the Gulf of America and had her reel it in? He said, I was scared. What knot did you use? You had to at least think about the knot. Use a San Diego jam, improved clinch knot, Palomar. What are we talking about here? Let's see. Neil is a glutton for punishment. Messick wants to know, did you learn the third time? I got what you're saying. I got what you're putting down now, Coleman. I see it up there. A bowling with 3 half hitches. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Pontoon, holy moly. Everybody's talking. Listen, I think that marrying the same person 3 times is really took over the thing in the chat right there. Danny, did you see that? I did see the end of that game last night. Neil, your real name is Terry. What's up, Purrs? Purrs is down in Florida joining in. Just can't get away from us. Tracy Coker said you use the FNG knot. Faith in God. There you go. For sure. I would not. Yeah, that's pretty ballsy. Now, Neil, guys, look, Neil's explaining in the comment section. Long story. Yeah, Neil, you think so? You think so? Like, that's all you had to put. Long story. But after the third time, it's been 10 years and we are going strong. Well, good for you. Good for you, Neil. I'm proud of you. You know, that is something. I mean, hey, listen, we tell everybody and everything else, if you fail, get up and try again. And if you fail, get up and try again. And I'm telling you right now, that's a living example of it. Right? Listen, I'm not getting divorced. No way. My wife really meant it for better or for worse. However, if something happens and I am out there, I ain't getting married again. Years later, I had her reel in a diamond bracelet, but I left that one in the box. Like, Aquaholic, you're a brave man. Brave man. Has anybody else done anything like your proposals like this? Like, I mean, he threw her engagement ring out there in the Gulf and had her reel it in. Oh. Did I use your pickup line last night? No, dude. She was asleep. And my great niece, her baby was staying at the house last night. So as I walked in, I had a text that was sent to me during the show. It said, "Be quiet coming in, baby in this room, let the dogs out." I had a list. So I was like, it probably didn't work, but I will try it tonight, Rob. And for those of you that want to know Rob's pickup line, you can message him directly because there is no way in the world I am going to use that on this show. And I've said some pretty sketch things. I've thrown a ring in a lake, but that was after the breakup. You marry somebody 3 times, the berry is definitely sweeter than the juice. Ryan Potts, TikTok. Hey, listen. It is what it is. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. But I mean, here's what I'm thinking though. Let me take a sip of this. What did your family think? Okay. What did the people around you think when you said, hey, and we're just going to use Sheila. I don't know your wife's name. Me and Sheila are going to get married again. This is the second time. And they're going to be like, well, I hope it's better this time. I hope you guys got everything straight and squared away. We're praying for you and all that. Okay. And then it blows up. And then a few years later, you go, hey, me and Sheila, we're thinking about getting married again. Now, by this time, somebody in your family or her family had to have said, what in the hell are you doing? Are you out of your mind? Throw something at him. Like I could see my family. I could see my family. And I can tell you some of the responses that I know I would get. And they wouldn't be positive. But I am, listen, 100% glad that you guys are going strong 10 years. Because you know what? I think if you break into the double digits, then it's got a chance to last. Now, the only downside to that is guys that have been married a long time and the wife, and they have like a few kids. Alcoholic goes, well, there'll be a fourth. No, we're counting on them to do this. We're going to make it. Sometimes after all the kids leave the nest and the husband and the wife are all alone, they find out they really don't like each other. But I have found the opposite. Like, I actually like my wife a lot better now that the kids are gone. Maybe I'm different. I like my kids better now that they're older. I know everybody's like, I wish they'd stay young forever. Hell no. I like them now that I can have adult conversations with them. And you know what? They leave. They go to their house. They leave. I can walk around my house buck ass naked and really make my wife uncomfortable. And when she goes, nobody wants to see that, Danny. Put some clothes on. And it's just me and her. It's just me and her and the dogs. I get that. Nobody wants to see that. Basically saying, I don't want to see it is what she's saying, which is always funny. But I listen, I do. I don't know if you guys are like that. I do. I really do like my wife a whole lot better. Oh, that's right. Neil, I forgot, Neil. So Neil, guys, yeah, this is true. He told me this a long time ago. Most of us guys, when we try to really jack up a marriage, we have nothing to fall back on. It was just us, right? We made some stupid, selfish decisions, made some bad choices in life, said the wrong things, maybe spent the money, maybe like Atlanta Outdoors buddy he talked about the other day, his wife catches him with the OnlyFans account on his phone. We did stupid stuff, right? Neil had a brain tumor. I forgot all about that, Neil. You told me that like a couple years ago. He had a brain tumor that caused me not to act right. All right, Neil has an alibi or an excuse, right? I forgot all about that, Neil. I remember you coming up here to the shop and we talked about that, but it's been a long time since I've seen you, my man. But yeah, I can let that one slide. We can let that and slide for sure. I have no such excuse built in. Not to say I want that excuse. I don't want that excuse, but I have nothing. I'm just dumb. And that's the way my wife says. You're just dumb, Danny. Stephen Sturgeon celebrating 44 years today. Been telling her she has been a great first wife. 100% for sure. I like that. I've seen some people do some videos like that and they get popped real quick. 44 years, man. That is absolutely awesome. You guys have beat the average right there. That is a long time. It'll be 31 years, my next one. 31 years. And how she put up with me for 31 years. The only reason I'm still married, guys, is my wife is amazing. At the time, I thought she was being really mean, but no, I look back on it now that I've matured like a fine wine, and I'm like, yeah, she was right. 95% of the time, she was right. I should have listened. My dad was married and divorced 3 times. My wife and I are running 14 years strong. Good for you. Purdue, 40 years this year for us. That's really good. I mean, that's impressive. If you got a 3 or a 4 as the first number in your marriage, that is really, really impressive. What's up, Hogan Nash? Ryan says 22 years, and she has put up a lot for me. Y'all notice a trend? Have y'all noticed that in the comments? It's like they put up with us a lot, right? That's where we're getting at. And our relationship is not typical. Hey, listen, maybe it's not. Rob says, I can't walk around naked. I'm not a shower, I'm a grower. Well, yeah, me too. That's a good name for the ex-wife. That's a good name for the ex-wife, the tumor. Yeah, you could go that way, Fred. Dead Rabbit says, my marriage lasted 8 years. Son was born, and 6 months later, she divorced me and sold my brand new house and 15 acres. Buddy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will say that I lost my waders and my golden lab in mine. I mean, I lost my dog, boys. Now, take it for what it's worth. I hired a female lawyer at the time. I don't know if you should do that. I don't know. This was back in the 90s. We're talking 92. I'm not sure if that was the best decision at the time then. But I lost my waders, my fishing waders. I lost my dog named Jake, named after that video, Pirates of the Mississippi. Like, feed Jake. I had that. I had me a golden lab, and I named him Jake. I lost 130 pounds after my first wife. Don't miss her. Did you get the 130 back? Because like I said earlier, you ain't hiding behind no sapling. But I get it, 100%. Now, let's see. My wife wants to go fishing even more than I do sometimes. She's a keeper. VG. Heck yeah, buddy. Doug Rice. I'm 27. Let me scroll up here. 27 years, and we ain't getting divorced because we can't afford it. I got a great woman. It's expensive now, ain't it? And Dad Rabbit goes, never again. He goes, well, I was a lot thinner back then, too. I got you. Me, too. I was telling a guy about me doing all these push-ups now and how hard they are. He goes, yeah, well, back when you was in your 20s, you wasn't pushing up near the weight you are now. And I'm like, yeah, you got a good point. I'm pushing up a lot more weight, but it's going down. Doc Holliday. Now I love this. My wife passed away 2.5 years ago, had a blind friend try to fix me up with a blind date. Nope. I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of how I met Amanda. Let me catch up on the comments and I'll tell you that. Now pretty much everybody in my family is married. Parents had 30-year anniversary this year. I'm on year 4 with my girlfriend as of last week. Still scared though. Ain't getting married more than once. It is something. Hefner was only 4 years deep. Now Doc did say, I remember you saying this. He would have been married had his wife not passed away 53 years Wednesday. That is, man, that's so impressive. Now, Mike said, I'm on my 3rd marriage right now, and it's the last. I couldn't ask for a better one. Good for you guys. My parents have been married for 57 years, and they're both crazy. I actually think you have to be a little bit crazy for it to work. Like, they say that if you have a really crazy, one of the spouses is really crazy, and the other one's kind of conservative, it actually works. Carson wants to know, why did she want your waiters? Dude, I don't know. I don't know how I lost them, but I did. Sounds like the makings of a country song. All of this does right here. Ever since marriage and the kid, the yum yum has gone away, and I'm not talking about dingers here. Listen, you got to work around that, dude. The lab was the biggest of the loss. It was. His name was Jake, and I don't know. All you young guys might not remember that song, but you old guys that listen to country music, you'll remember that song because it's a good one. Like, feed Jake, he's been a good dog, And I named him after that song. It was very corny to do at the time, but I did. And yeah, I lost him. My old lady thankfully wants to go fishing and learn from me and wants to be involved. Very thankful. Well, Hogan, how long have you been married? If you don't mind me asking. Mine asked me if I would remarry if she passed. I said, nope, might shack up though. Oh, Lord. If my wife goes before me or if we ever get divorced, I'll never get married again. I don't think that will. I pray the good Lord takes me first because I wouldn't know up from down without my wife. And that's where I'm at. Like, I've got some book smarts, even though it doesn't look like it. My wife got all the common sense. All of the common sense. I got a girl who wants me to pursue fishing for a living and who believes in me. Got lucky for sure, Tyler. But Tyler, you're 19, dude. You're 19. I didn't even know he was that young. He came in last night. Him and Dad said, y'all want a beer? He goes, I'm 19. I went, oh, yeah. No, you can't. Or one of you is high maintenance. For sure. My fiance met me and saw me get arrested the same day, and she fell in love with me. Now, that's the start of a country song right there. We'll have to put that to music. My fiance met me and saw me get arrested the same day, and she fell in love with me. That's awesome. Fishing is high maintenance. Hogan, no marriage, just a girlfriend at the moment. Okay. But wife material and quality for sure. And Geiger says they're going on 8 years now. I used to play a ton of adult league softball. I call it beer league. And one Saturday we had a tournament. And again, I was separated. And guys, listen, we had a mobile home that was on my soon-to-be ex-in-law's property about 100 foot from their house. Right? So I go off and I'm playing this thing. Well, a buddy that I was playing ball with, he goes, hey, you want to go on a blind date with me tonight? And I said, well, not necessarily with you, but you got some chicks involved. He goes, yeah, Danny. I said, all right, fine. So we play the tournament. We come home, we shower and all that, we take off. And of course, guys, listen, you got to realize what's going on. A lot of adult beverages during the day. We show up at a bowling alley, okay? A bowling alley of all places. The girl he set up with, I think I've said this before, the girl he set me up with lived in my neighborhood for the entire time I lived in Forsyth County. She was far younger than me, and let's just say nicely, not the most attractive person. Okay. His blind date was pregnant. I mean, like 6 months pregnant. I'm like, dude, you didn't check this out before you set all this up. And he's like, I didn't know. So we bowled, and we had a good time bowling and all that, knowing that I would never, that there's nothing coming of this. Well, okay, so we go home. All right, we go home, and there's a party going on. Now, again, remember, I just set it up that the mobile home I lived in at the time, and I'm currently separated, is less than 100 yards from my ex-in-law's house. And I pull in, and actually, as you pull in to their property, it was sitting up by the main road, and then you had to drive down the dirt road to get to there. So if they had come home, they'd seen all this. There was 20 cars in my daggum right there by my place. It was like 20 cars, and I'm like, okay. Well, my brother thought it'd be a good idea to throw a party. So I walk in, and there's, at the time, a little underage, this and all that. Again, guys, we're talking early 90s. But anyway, there's a party going on. Now, I left the place in a complete disaster, right? Complete disaster. And I look over, and it was almost like, the way I can describe it was like this beam from heaven shining over the kitchen sink. All that stuff. And there sat Amanda washing dishes, because I had failed to wash dishes in about 3 weeks. Get it right, guys? Like, listen, hey, I'm separated. I'm supposed to be sad, all this stuff. Okay? But she is washing the dishes. She's got this windsuit on. I still remember, guys, like it was yesterday. A green windsuit that said Oakley with green shorts. Those things you used to get in Panama City. And it was just, honestly, it was like, ooh. So first of all, she comes up. My brother introduces us. And she's like, this place is disgusting. All right. Okay, true. I have been with her since that night, pretty much. Honest to gosh. That's how I met her. I'm not going to tell you about the rest of the night, but I will tell you this. 10 out of 10, boys. 10 out of 10. Life-changing. All right. Let's see. My wife says death is the only way out of our marriage at this point. Well, mine says that too. And guys, I'm telling you, if you ever see me on the news, my wife did it. I met her fishing on the bank, and we have been inseparable since. And she listens to my wants to communicate, and she wants to communicate with me about everything. I genuinely feel appreciated, Hogan. Well, that crap's going to come to an end. Second you put a ring on it. I hope not. I'm just playing with you. I'm watching this on my work computer now because I left my AirPods at home. What are the odds I get a call from HR? Give them my number, dude. You got it. My wife and I had our first date at a bowling alley. My woman, she loved my black jig with a gold blade. Her favorite was my white jig with a silver blade. Tom, that a way to put it in fishing terms right there. HR, I probably could get you in trouble with HR. To all you youngsters, don't allow the woman to be the primary on the house. Checking your savings, especially if you are depositing your paychecks in those accounts. Protect yourself. That sounds like a man speaking from experience right there. Hank Ferguson. Tournament on Hartwell tomorrow, guys. What y'all got, boys? Danny, beautiful love story, though. He's like, Danny, shut up. What's fishing? Let's go. Hartwell tomorrow, tournament, what you boys got? I'm telling you right now, just based upon everything, Uncle Misfit says it hard to find a girl that cooks and cleans these days. I didn't say she did that anymore. She done got me. I love the dishwasher a good bit. Let's put it that way. I would say, man, I would start, if you're fishing, I would go shallow early. I personally would be throwing a buzz bait or something power like that. I'd be throwing a buzz bait till the sun got up. And then what's up, gone fishing with Ed? I'd be throwing a buzz bait early, and then I'm not the best minnow guy out there. I probably would just slow down and I'd hope I'd get my 5 quick. And you guys got pretty good largemouth out there. You might could get a kicker, but I get 5 quick and then go hog hunting. And when I say that, looking for Becky, you know what I'm talking about. Hank, I would be throwing a fluke in topwater near the mouths of major rivers. It's good right now. That's from Coleman. He fishes that. DP says El Chapo in white. It helps when your wife has OCP. Or you mean OCD or OCP? You down with OCP? Yeah, you know me. I don't know what you're saying over there like that. I think you mean OCD. My wife thought she was getting a Zoom monster worm. Instead, she got a Ned rig. Hey, she should have known, though. She should have known. You can't tell. You telling me she didn't know that already? OCD Aquaholic says. Also, I got a real cool podcast for you guys to watch about the science of fishing. It's called Science of a Strike. They go into very deep detail about a lot of things. Hogan, again, we don't allow podcast adultery here. You're not allowed to go watch anything else, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowed to go watch anything else. I'm just playing with you. I'll check it out. Messick wants to know, are you fishing in that open tomorrow on Hartwell? DP says a buzzer in the white and chart skirt. Just informational podcast episodes. I know, dude. I'm giving you a hard time. And, of course, Danny Perdue does not like Neds. He does not like the Ned rig whatsoever at all. Every time it gets brought up, he has a comment like that. Hank says, kind of what we plan on doing, Coleman. Thank you. And the buzzbait bite would be fun, Danny. I just think that's what I would do first thing. And again, I'm not Kevin Van Dam, nor do I aspire to be. But I can tell you that's what Farmer would do. That's what the guys that I know that fish kind of like me, I think that's what Ryan would do. Buzzbait and flukes for sure on Hartwell. But I honestly, that's what I would start. Now, Rob said something interesting too last night, though. He was talking about the bait. We were talking about going into creeks. Like he said, he fishes the first 4 or 5 docks in, but not all the way in the back yet because he doesn't think the bait's back there as well. So that's something too to consider. Aquaholic says, I need to learn the buzz bait. That's why I skunked today. I mean, you just throw it in reel, man. Throw it in reel. Buzz bait or spooks, 100%. Stephen Joe says on there. Never give a woman the last 2 inches of yourself. Just give her the tip. That's what my dad said. Thomas Alexander. You guys are throwing out the good stuff right now. I get it right there. Now, Jeremiah says, mine cooks from scratch, cleans, buys me stuff every now and then. Doesn't care how long I fish and not jealous. I think it's all a trap. I think you're making it up. I don't think your girlfriend exists. I ain't never seen a picture of her. Let's see you post a picture. Post a picture on your socials, dude, Jeremiah. We ain't got a pic of it. She don't exist, all right? No pic. It didn't happen. I'm just playing with you, but I'm not playing with you. Let's see a pic. Dead Rabbit says, Danny, I hear you on the Neds. All right. My wife just asked me if I remembered any of her outfits when we were dating. I passed. Good for you. I mean, I remember that one. And I also remember this one. Amanda would wear this mini skirt that wasn't quite like today's mini skirt, but for back then it was pretty high up. That was black base, and then it had like a bunch of red and all this stuff. And she would wear this red shirt that was kind of tight with lipstick and all that. Like, yeah. Hey, Danny, do you pour your own plastic baits? No, I don't. I tie jigs, but I'm not a plastic pourer. But if you're looking for somebody specific, I can find you some people that would be very recommended in our world to do that. But no, I ain't got that kind of time, talent, or anything like that. And you guys would never get the right color if I had to actually pour and mix. You know, those skills. Let me get you guys on TikTok back on here. Come on. There you go. Real quick. I hate doing this, but, you know, they make me do it. Scroll over and resume the live. There we go, boys. You're good now. Let's see. Shaky Head, green pumpkin blue. That's a good one. Fished Hartwell Tuesday. Buzzbait bite was good. Got a 4.7 largemouth, Greg said. And listen, I just think right now, if you're going to start off shallow, you can't go wrong with a buzzbait. I need to see a pic of that 3-pound Latham crappie. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I bet you'll get a pic of that before I get a pic of your girlfriend that don't exist. And I'm just playing with you, Jeremiah. I should have took a pic. I will. I'll go catch one. Andrew is my plastics plug. I was just curious if you did. No, I don't. I really don't. The fish just told me the jerkbait bite is indeed on. Got a nice 2-pounder followed by a 4 just now. Well, there you go. For sure. And then Tyler Shelnut says, I need to try Hartwell. I just think right now, based upon what people are saying, and if they're going into a fall transition, that the buzzbait bite or your whopper plopper, if that's what you prefer, you know, guys are talking about it really working. Now, with Jeremiah talking about the jerkbait bite, I know that, you know, we talked about this Bassmaster magazine the other day, and sometimes I actually read it. Sometimes I get it and I just chunk it over here in the bathroom for those of you guys that like to come spend a little time in my bathroom for some reason over here, just for something for you guys to read. But I actually opened this one up for this one, and this is the September-October one. Actually, this month has some good stuff. They got a thing. Brandon Cobb talks about jerk baits. And I haven't read it all through. I was just looking at the article. They got it's actually pretty good. Who is this? Who they got going right there? I don't know the name of that angler. I don't see this. Cole Sands. There we go. He's talking about vertical fishing, which is going to be coming up with spoons. You got Last Shot for Top Waters. Got that article. You got an article here on glide baits. So it's, and it's now granted, they plug some of these companies. I wonder how much they get paid to plug some of these things. Then you got A Day on the Lake with John Cox. Now he's a power guy. That would be pretty good to do that. So I actually think this month's Bassmaster magazine is pretty good. Follow the Leader. Now John Cruz does this, and it is Sunline. So take it for what it's worth. They do talk about a couple other ones, but it is kind of Sunline heavy. I guess that's who he's by. And then bottom, let's see, what does this say? Bottom Jiggers. Oh, Bottom Huggers. So they got some good stuff in there. So this might be a good read this month. Might give us some ideas for some podcasts. Nathan's been getting skunked on Hartwell. Some people have been getting skunked on Lanier. Haven't heard anybody say the Hellraiser. Now, if Tony, if he's still on, if Coker's still on as well, if they're on, he's been throwing that smaller Hellraiser. But for the most part, it's not, most people don't catch anything. I have a feeling the print Bassmasters is going bye-bye. And it probably is. I'm old school. Guys our age, they don't like to actually feel papers in their hands. Like, go to church and they got the Bibles on their phones and everything. I just can't do that. They sent out a survey a month ago or so, and there were a few questions about the magazine. And the magazine cost. There is some cost involved with that magazine as well. So anyway, so you guys, like with that, so it seems like some of you guys are going to go fish Hartwell, and there's a few of you going to fish Lanier. I will not be fishing this weekend because I'll be at the shop here for a little bit early in the morning because I've got a sponsor coming by and we're going to talk. And of course, I'll have it open for a little bit during that time. And then I got to work on that Jeep because I got to get that Jeep back running. So, my weekend is shot until I get that Jeep fixed. I married my wife because I thought she could cook, and she married me because she thought I had money. Turns out we were both wrong. Yeah, I can see it. I can see that happening. I want to know why the topwater bite has been tough on Lanier. It's got to be pressure because I haven't been seeing them fly up out of the brush like I always heard about. And same here. Wife is coming back Monday, so you got to get the house back in order. Listen at you. Hey, dude, I was just playing with you. I really was just playing with you, Jeremiah. You don't have to send me pics of your girlfriend, but appreciate that. No, Jeep, just empty every pocket, 100%. And it's got the Hemi 5.7. So it's too much motor for the Jeep that's in it. Jerkbait color that's working today is chrome black, by the way, for you guys. And, the topwater bite we talked about last night, it's not just Lanier. Guys have been talking about it on a bunch of lakes like Allatoona and all that. Latham across the street from my house, when it's right, I would put that topwater bite on that lake against any lake we talk about ever on this show or on the live well. It's not like it used to be. I have honestly seen the water blow up the size of this shop here. And for those of you that have been in here, you kind of know what I'm saying. The size of the shop blowed up with spots trying to knock herring at it. I've seen them blowing up on top more in the evening than in the morning. Is this while it might be, is this the entire lake or just his area? I don't know. I have not seen that. Now, this year, what I've seen on topwater, is this the whole lake or just my area? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the comment section. I see them coming up a few at a time now and going back down, and they're not staying up. I used to could watch a school just stay up and go in a 50-yard stretch on Latham and just busting fish, bait flying out of the water. The water's boiling. It's just the craziest thing you've ever seen. I ain't seen that in a while. In the morning, he's just seeing gar in the morning over there. I don't know why it's like that. Is there a difference between a topwater bite and a buzzbait bite? No, not to me, Stephen. No, it's all if it's on the surface. And I actually consider, and I'm a little different. I actually consider if it's 6 inches or a foot from the top, to me that's topwater. Like I think flukes are topwater. Your more seasoned guys will say, well, that's subsurface. Well, like I mean, it's in the top 1 foot. But do you think Latham gets pressured for a lake that size? Yeah, I do. I do. But again, the topwater is not the same as it used to be. And you could say pressure on Latham, but also too, if you got it on Lanier and people are seeing the same thing on Allatoona and Hartwell and all that, there's something else different. Yeah, Danny, go clean that house. I'm about to get off as well. There's something going on. I mean, because it's not one lake, it's multiple lakes in a given geographical area. I don't know what it is. It takes people a lot smarter than I am to figure that out, but it is something. 3 or 4 years ago, anybody talked about was the epic topwater bite on Lake Lanier, and you couldn't keep topwater baits in stock. That's changed. They seem to be really shy of topwater baits. Now, don't get me wrong. People are still catching them on topwater, and they're still catching some good fish on topwater. But those epic days, those epic days where you could throw a booger out there and it float on top and something would come up and bust it, that's not happening. And so I don't know why. I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's, you'll have the guys that'll blame sonar. You'll have the guys that'll blame pressure. Then you're going to have the guy that's going to blame global warming, and then you're going to have whatever. And if it was just Lake Lanier, then I would kind of like, I don't know. But because it's this entire region, it's really interesting. Now, one of my thoughts is, are guys spending more time going down after them and really pressuring them going down after them? And they're just like, I don't know, do they not want to come up? I know when I was fishing with Underwood, I watched a spot come up. I assume it was a spot, 40 foot of water, throwing a fluke across the top, a little bit of timber. Fish are staged up above the timber, halfway between the surface and the top of the timber. Classic topwater setup. They should have come up and busted it. The fish that were up in 15 foot, up halfway between the timber and the surface, every once in a while they'd move on it. Now, I had a fish come out of 40 foot, and it was the fastest thing I've ever seen on forward facing. And it was on his Garmin. Came literally up from 40 feet, went right through all the other fish, like 122.68 miles per hour. Got 6 inches. Like, I was watching it, and I actually tried to play the video game, watch like, oh Lord, here it comes. And so I'm looking out, looking down, looking up, and I'm like, and I didn't change nothing. I didn't change anything. And he got 6 inches from that bait and went right back down as fast as he could. Like, I have no idea. Have they seen too many of the same baits? I was throwing a fluke. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Topwater bite will come back later this fall is my prediction. 3 years or so ago, they were catching topwater fish in December. And yes, it is definitely, if we get a warm December, it will continue. It can get in that. But I don't think it's been the, you guys remember watching that tournament on Murray, the elites, a couple years ago, where they were just, a lot of guys were minnowing, but a lot of guys were throwing topwater. It was just getting blowed up on. And you used to see that on Lanier. It was crazy. It was a great tournament to watch. Even with the forward facing sonar, it was actually a great tournament to watch because while they saw them, but they were throwing out and you could see the bites and all that. That's not happening. Maybe we need to get a biologist. We'll figure it out. I'll see if I can find us a biologist and we'll try to figure all that out. So I don't know, but it is very interesting as to why it's not happening. Who knows? That's a good question. So anyway, all right. With that, I've got to get some jigs in the mail today. I will tell you guys this. If you're ever thinking about me tying some jigs or pouring you some ditch diggers, go ahead and get them orders in. Don't wait till it's actually jig time or ditch digger time because I will be behind. So if you want some jigs or you want some ditch diggers ditch diggers poured, go ahead and go online at FNGO and order them now because I make them to order. And all of a sudden what's going to happen is everybody's going to wait till that right 2 weeks before it really gets good, and they're all going to order, and I'm going to be behind. So if you want to nail on it now, get it now. I believe it's the color. I went from catching on chartreuse flukes to nothing on pearl within 5 minutes. A lot of guys are throwing chartreuse flukes now. I got some here. A lot of guys are catching a lot of fish on chartreuse. Not sure why. Murray's fish are getting pressured. Also, sure, can't wait for it to cool down and the wake boats to go away. Did you see the study about the damage they are doing? Yeah, I saw the videos. I didn't read the study. I saw the videos for sure. And they do mess up the floor, the bed of the lake for sure, especially if they get over in that shallow stuff. Nathan, all right, real quick before I get off, what do you think about Charlie Kirk? I hate it. We talked about that yesterday, and I am glad that hopefully the person that they have in custody now is such person, and I hope that people learn a little bit of lesson about some of the stuff they're doing on social media. I hate the whole situation. Some people are really paying the price today on social media with their jobs because you can't do nothing these days anymore, guys. That people will find out where you work. They're going to find out who employs you. And if you do something, I mean, you have to be really, really careful because there are a lot of people now making videos that a day or two ago were celebrating and now they're out of a job. And it was all like, we got to kind of fix what's going on here. But yeah, anytime you guys really be careful on social media. I'm with you, Aaron. I hate the wake boats. Tom says, I find the fish will move up from the deep water into 20 to 25 feet near the bottom. It relates to the time of day. They will move shallow and suspend 16 to a foot deep. Yeah. I mean, guys are seeing it. It's getting them to react. I think a lot of guys are having problems with it now. But yeah, Nathan, I agree that it does suck. The entire situation sucks. The way people respond to it has sucked. And the fact that in 2025, we're still dealing with stuff we shouldn't deal with sucks. Only person that can fix it. It all starts with one person. The woman that owns the vet clinic in Woodstock needs to lose that business. From what I've heard today, she is really, really, she's having a hard time with it. Now, I did hear this one. Now, listen, this is just an example, guys. And I saw this morning before I got on. There was a woman who put out one of those celebration type videos. People found where her husband, she was a stay-at-home mom apparently, they found the name of her husband's company. And thousands of people went on Yelp and gave it a 1-star review and just started beating it to the point. And this is her husband. He didn't do it. It's just a company he's got. Now, he might think the same way, but again, they went on Yelp and just nailed his company with thousands upon thousands of 1-star reviews to the point where she took that video down. So you got to be careful out there, guys. You got to be careful out there with what you're saying. Colton, you're late. Hope you have a great weekend. Yeah, we're getting ready to go. I just wish we could all come together and be positive. Maybe if everybody in the world would just watch this show, we could keep it that way. At least, as best we can. Right, Nathan? Daniel says, God bless y'all. Y'all have a great day. All of you guys, too. Seriously, I want you guys to have a great weekend. If you're hunting or fishing or whatever you're doing, please, first of all, be safe. Second of all, enjoy your time, out there doing what you love to do, especially with your family and all that. Time you spend with your family, hey, listen, think about it. There's a wife and a couple kids that don't have their husband. I guarantee he wished he could have that time. That, when it's gone, guys, it's gone. So you guys absolutely spend time with your family and all that. But just enjoy life a little bit and be positive out there. It all starts with one person. Nothing in this world is going to change until one person actually starts something and changes his little arena. And all of you guys have your own little world, right? So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be up here at the shop for a little while longer. If you're in the area, come see me. And again, like I said, guys, if you want jigs or ditch diggers, you better get on FNGO and order them now because I've got 120 jigs in already to start tying for guys. It's coming. And so I don't want you guys to be left out. It's just me. So get those orders in. So when time comes and you're ready, you got them. So anyway, you guys be good. We'll see you Monday at 12, and you guys can tell me all the fish you caught and everything like that. So YouTube, you guys are out. Y'all be good.